Hello everyone, I'm fletchisafurry, but you can call me a member of the Dastardly Dancing Devils, and I'm here to run Sayonara Wild Heart's high score attack today. I also have my lovely couch.
Hi, I'm Moonblaze Wolf. You can call me the Fool for this run.
And hi, I'm Ian Keith, and I got lost on my field trip and I landed on a couch, but the good news is I probably won't fall asleep on it because I have this to watch, which is way better.
Alrighty, welcome folks. So if you're not familiar, Sayonara Wild Hearts is an absolute riot of a game. It is basically a pop album music video brought to life with the interactivity of a lovely video game. I'm going to get pretty much right into this. We'll start explaining the scoring. This game is an end-to-end total trip. Heads up, it is pretty bad when it comes to flashing lights, so if you're sensitive, keep an eye out, or don't keep an eye out as the case may be. There are also 2 points in the run, but we'll mention a slightly higher than normal threshold for flashing lights. So if I can get the audience and couch's help here, we're going to count down in 3, 2, 1, go! And first trick of the run, we're going to skip this cutscene.
Bye, Queen Latifah. We love you.
This game is, in fact, narrated by Queen Latifah. It's actually pretty awesome. So welcome, folks. This is Sayonara Wild Hearts. It's kind of an endless runner arcade game. Every level basically is going to throw a new mechanic at us. We'll explain those as we go along. This one's pretty simple, but we do need to explain scoring. Blaze, could you explain to folks how the scoring works in this game?
Oh, gosh, yeah. So you will see 3 different icons that Fletch is basically going to be moving through. We're skateboarding right now. There'll be more later, don't worry. But they accumulate kind of like a combo over the course of each stage that you do. So the small hearts are 1 point. The hearts, the kind of medium-sized hearts that Fletch is going through right now are 25 points. And then there are the coins or the diamonds, different names for them.
Or
there
the
was
biscuits.
one right there. The biscuits. I love the
as
biscuits.
you'd like.
Those are 1,000. So we're going to see that score continuing to increment in the top left corner. There's also some other scoring mechanics that are kind of like swag. I don't know. That's probably the best way to describe them.
Yeah, style points.
Yes, you get style points. There's also combat. We'll get to that. So there's a lot of scoring, but the 3 main things are those 3 main icons, and those will count up over the course of the run. And because Fletch is doing album arcade mode, we will get 1 continuous score throughout the entire game.
I also don't want to alarm anyone, but I just tied world record for Claire de Lune.
Hey!
Already?
Which is not terribly out there. Claire de Lune is one of the few levels where you don't have your, spoiler alert, motorcycle. That is going to be what we use for all of our style points. So it is a very common level to hit the skill ceiling on. But now we're into our first heartbreak level. These heartbreaks kind of act as the interstitial periods within the different areas of the game where we'll meet the different antagonists who have their own whole areas with depressing names that they occupy. We get a new mechanic. We get these little teleporters. This is a level that also has a pretty clear cap because you don't have style points without your motorcycle. You will not be able to get riskies and slides, which we'll start to see momentarily.
And what is your goal for this run? Because this is more of a showcase run that we're doing. But do you want to describe what your goal is for this run?
Yes, so my goal is to get as scoring as possible. The world record in this category is just north of 2 million by Dama Plays Games, who is fantastic and was very helpful for prepping this run. I am not quite to Dama's level yet, but I do have a good time and do pretty well. So we're going to get as high as humanly possible, as few deaths as possible, except in specific cases where we do want them. We'll explain those as they come up. That is Heartbreak 2. We have, if I count correctly, was it 23 levels? Oh, man. I should know that, definitely. But welcome to the Hate Hell Valley, where we're getting to the Wheel of Fortune motorcycle. Blaze, could you explain what our 2 main style points are going to be here?
Yep. So there's going to be slides, which is kind of where Fletch is going to kind of grind on turns. And then there's also going to be riskies, which is, this is actually the first level where Fletch could conceivably take a death. And that would be if you run into basically anything that is not going to give you points.
With those cars.
Yes. But the riskies are, if you get close but not die, you can get a risky bonus.
And that really helps you see what the skill ceiling for this game could potentially be. Every risky is 50 points, as are the slides, and introducing those is just going to help tick your score up. Not nearly as much as getting the little hearts or the big hearts or the biscuits or square coins or secret bananas, whatever you want to call them. But it does stack up, and it's especially important for getting record levels of score in this game. And now we get to introduce me, which is, well, sorry, the Dancing Devils, the actual Dancing Devils.
You look like an actual dancing devil. They gave you a jacket and everything.
Oh, I stole this actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please don't tell them on live stream or anywhere.
We'll never divulge your secret, don't worry.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So for the combat sequences here, you can get different scores or grade. I guess I should say grades based on how close to frame perfect you can hit the kind of the big circle encroaching on the small heart. And perfect is the best score that you can get. So we're going to be hoping to see lots of perfects in these combat sequences. But in a way, it's kind of a QTE event, but there is also some other stuff involved as well. You'll see here at the very end.
Yeah, this is a fantastic level with a really bumping song. This whole soundtrack is great, but this song I especially love. It is a shame it is under a minute. And we have a few more QuickTime events to end out the level. And that was a very good Fighting Hearts. Now, in Album Arcade, we do have our score tracking consecutively, which unfortunately makes it really hard to tell when you might, say, get a PB on a level. That felt very good, though. Thank you. This gets us into our first boss battle, which is a bit of a strange term to use in a arcade rhythm game. What I mean by boss battle is that there's a song with lyrics. This is Begin Again. It also means that we'll be facing against the antagonists that we've been seeing throughout this area of the game. And it does mean that at some point, we're going to punch their lights out.
As one does.
As one does.
In rhythm games.
In rhythm games, yes, absolutely in rhythm games. A fun fact about a different version of a speed, there actually are speedruns of Sayonara Wild Hearts. One of them is called All Zodiac Riddles. You will not see any Zodiac Riddles in the course of this run, but they are very strange things you need to do in the game in the form of a riddle to unlock the achievement and the in-game indicator that you have it. We're going to slide to the wall here. It looks very dangerous. It's actually quite safe. Trust me, I'm a professional. And all Zodiac Riddles has to route an unusual route through the game in about an hour and a half. There's actually a very fun one of those riddles called Begin Again Again within the community, where you need to play this level 3 times and get at least gold rank. Blaze, could you explain how the ranks work in this, in Album Arcade and individual songs?
Yeah, so you can get bronze, silver, gold, and then wild rank on individual levels, but also on the entire Album Arcade mode. So again, Album Arcade is the cumulative for the entire game, but you can also get ranks on each individual stage. So interestingly enough, I used to run this game a couple of years ago. I did not run a score attack category, but I was a little bit, I don't want to say I found it not challenging, but I wanted to add some extra challenge onto the normal any percent category for this game. So
Okay.
I made an any percent gold ranks category,
Oh.
which was basically, you know, your run was only valid if you got gold or better on every song. So that was a fun challenge. And this game is really just kind of, you can do so much with it. The All Zodiac Riddles is another really, really interesting category that Fletch was just mentioning, where it's kind of like an all achievements category, and the achievements are not necessarily tied to the things that you would always associate achievements with. So it's kind of fun, like they're riddles, they're little Easter eggs and different things like that as well. So this game's just really heckin' cool. I don't know what else to say.
It's an awesome game. Something that's coming up momentarily, we already saw one of, is that as we get to the boss, we are, as I said, going to punch their lights out lovingly. There's a trick that I'm going to spare myself and our eyes for the moment, but you can actually pause buffer on those mashes. You get significantly more hits than you normally would. You get a lot more A-presses. Unlike Mario, we go for as many A-presses as is humanly possible. But that is pretty hard on my arms, so I will avoid doing that for this run. I kind of save it for if I'm being very, very sweaty and not in a marathon. You'll also see that we get occasional riskies here in this route. I say route, a little bit in air quotes. But we're not going to go for quite as many as, again, if we were being especially sweaty and going for world records and PBs, since, as you can imagine, getting close to hazards is not often that marathon safe. There will be some, though, especially towards the end of the run, so look forward to that. As we get into the last third of Begin Again, I think this is an excellent spot for donations and announcements. Ian, over to you.
I just absolutely wanted to give a huge thank you and shout out to all of our staff, our runners and volunteers for helping to make this event possible for the third year in a row. It's mind-blowing, it's amazing, and I love it all. It takes so many people with a variety of talents and skills all working together to make our events happen, and we could not do this without each and every one of you. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate all of the efforts y'all are putting out this weekend.
Now you'll see that the control scheme for this game is actually really, really simple. I'm really only using the stick to move, usually left and right, in some cases like these surprise flying segments, up and down as well. Get that sneaky square coin. And the A button for the quick time events. That's so they can throw a lot of new things at us all the time. This last punch out is going to close out Begin Again. That line lives my head rent free. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Thank you again, Queen Latifah.
I think one of the other really important things to understand about this game, and you can get a sense for it in a lot of the levels, but getting that coin that Fletch was just going for is a really good example. You're kind of just floating in the space on the screen, and a lot of times there's not a great indicator as to whether you're lined up or not. So a lot of getting good at this game and a lot of getting those high scores and consistently getting things like those coins is just practice, 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 and playing these songs a lot and just getting very comfortable with, yeah, that looks about right.
And there are even some tricks that, for example, riskies that are similarly floaty. Those are the kinds of things that we do avoid in a marathon setting. Let's especially practice at them, because when you're moving in 2 dimensions like this and flying forward at incredible speeds, it is very difficult to have a frame of reference on, say, the nearby building that you're hurtling towards.
It's true. Those buildings will sneak up on you.
Did a little trick at the end there. We don't actually need to take either the left or right ramp there, but we can position just close enough that our heart pickup radius gets the ramp, but we still go straight. That is a way this level had its ceiling popped up just a little bit. Now we're in the Whoa Whoa Woods on what I like to call Forest Goat, thanks to my autocorrect, but it's actually called Forest Ghost, and you will see this is in fact an elk, not a goat. This is a good example of a map that has a little bit of routing, and again, a game that you wouldn't necessarily expect has routing. There are these various lines of hearts that are strewn throughout the level, and there are some lines that are just slightly longer than others. We're going to ride the goat now. So it's good to know some of these levels are just pure knowledge-based, making sure that you, well, not pure, you're still playing the game, but you want to make sure that you're going for the correct forks. This level is less severely forked than others. There are some where you make a choice and you are hard locked into that path for the next couple seconds, so you're not getting a high score or a wild rank if you manage to go that way.
Also, I'm not judging you, but you did not go for tree coin.
I did not go for tree coin. There is something notorious in the Sayonara Wild Hearts community called tree coin in this level. There was a bit of a back and forth bet with me and Blaze whether I would go for it. I lost that bet, so Blaze, you totally can keep that mask. I stole it anyway, so you know it's not, who says it's mine to give, but it's mine to give.
Oh, okay.
Does that count as incriminating evidence?
Why would it? There's no recording of this, so
No.
Oh,
how
yeah,
is it
no,
gonna,
it's not
how is it
being
going to
live
incriminate
streamed.
any of us?
Yeah.
We don't have like an awesome crowd here helping us along either.
All right.
Oh wait.
Thank you, folks. Quick flashing lights warning: this level is especially flashy. We're going to skip the cutscene and get right into that.
Yep.
This is Forest Dub. We seem to have consumed some, I don't know, LED lights perhaps? And it looks like this level is kind of warped in the camera. It's actually the movement that is also kind of pulsating with this beat. So even the controls of the motorcycle are a little bit bizarre for this one. We're going to jump off of some legally distinct mushroom bounce pads. And then right up ahead of us, we have some legally distinct embiggen mushrooms. They make us big is the point. They do give us points. They also let us get big enough to catch those hearts that are otherwise too high for us. All right, Fergus, if you can join me for this next awoo really quick. Awoo! Great, thank you. We all summon the robot wolves. Great job, everyone.
It's the song of my people.
All right, this gets us into Laser Love. Laser Love is the single most technically difficult level in this game. Somewhat dangerous, but particularly hard to high score. There are things in this game that are pretty frame rate dependent, and if you're running at the really highest level, you'll be adjusting the frame rate as you go. These wolves, ideally you want to try to destroy them at high frame rate. They give us points for destroying them. They also drop hearts, which we need to pick up, as mentioned, for getting high scores. And we're going to try not to die there. Excellent. We also get the introduction of these little, I just call them Mario Kart crates, because look at them, they're Mario Kart crates, except they contain 9 hearts each. So as many of those as possible are going to be a huge help to our score. This brings us to the final and scariest part of the level, where it's just onslaught of robot wolves. I'm going to do my best to focus in here. Oh, I'm going to focus in and try to weave between these wolves.
This is the most unpredictable level in the game for score purposes, as Fletch was mentioning, and also just, what happened there with the random death. That is a thing that can happen on this level. It's not anything on you. It just happens sometimes. The wolf broke containment on you.
This is probably also the level I've played the most, but it's very short, so it's not the level I spent the most time on. That gets us into Dead of Night. Again, another boss level with the lyrics here. Fantastic soundtrack for Sayonara Wild Hearts. Cannot recommend it enough. There's also a bit of a meme in the community for, because of some of the riskies that we sometimes go for early in level here, the meme is just the can you tell over and over again, because that's the sound of you trying to get the riskies. Fortunately, they're very low stakes, because if you die that early in the level, you just restart. The key thing to know about dying is that it does reset your score streak. So generally speaking, we'll want to avoid death as much as possible, except in those cases that are pretty forgiving, where we're at the beginning of a level.
Yep.
This is the, I like to call the Son of Tree Coin, a little bit less risky than the other tree coins, so usually we go for it.
Very nice.
Thank you. This game just keeps you guessing. Surprise! Mecha-Cerberus! Woo! Mecha-Cerberus is driving these yo-yos of doom. These are part of another counter that increments score as we destroy them that is the same counter as the wolves. So every wolf and every yo-yo we destroy is going to get us some points. You'll see we're also going to go for some slides here, which really require us to go to the very, very extent of this path. You can only get a slide if you go a sufficient length. All right, big uppercut for the midway point.
Belly rubs.
Yes, very, very aggressive belly rubs for sure.
I was going to say, I was wondering if Blaze is feeling a little bit hurt by this section.
Yes, nothing personal, Blaze. Just to show you something personal, you can keep the mask.
Hey.
And Ian, this is a good time for more announcements.
I just want to remind folks out there what we are actually doing all of this for. Lost and Found Youth is an Atlanta-based organization dedicated to helping homeless LGBTQ+ youth find stability, safety, and a place to call home. To learn more about their mission and programs, please visit www.lnfy.org, and donate if you're able to by using command !donate in chat, or by visiting www.facetsfurs.com/donate.
Every donation is super, super helpful. We love all of your support for such a great organization. Thank you, folks. Sneaky Biscuit there, going to hop up with the QuickTime event in order to get it. And we are coming on the end of the level here. One last, as Blaze said, belly rub. Hit the sure you can, and then we're going to have to break a few more hearts, which I'm told I've done all the time without realizing it. And that'll be Dead of Night. That is effectively 2/3 through the game. Thank you, folks. I'll let this cutscene play out because it looks so banger. We are getting into Heartbreak subspace to make our way to the Lovers. This is the Tower of Lovers. This is a very unusual Heartbreak you'll see here with a somewhat literal interpretation of the tower. You may have noticed this game is heavily tower themed. We will see all of the major arcana throughout this run. To start off, we're going to do a little bit of swerving, the kind that you shouldn't do on a real motorcycle, because we'll get a bunch of slides here on the stairs. Important to note that slides only count if you are on the ground. So you'll see that sometimes I'll come off a jump and I'll position myself just to be able to move better into the slide like that. This level also has quite a lot of QuickTime events as we ascend the stairs. It is always leg day here on Sayonara Wild Hearts.
This is like me getting to my hotel room last night.
Oh, too real. Oh, yeah, I'm on the 26th floor, I think. Oh, boy.
I'm just going to bring my motorcycle next time.
Yeah, just right up.
And
Just
say
right
I
up.
saw it in video games. Really cool coin right there.
Yeah, very, very sneaky biscuit. Just inside a gap in that giant rolling rock. As always, watch for rolling rocks. And then to wrap up the level, we transition to this 2D sequence. So we talked about riskies some. Again, riskies are for getting close to a hazard, but not so close that you perish. You'll see there are some cases that I'm going to actually pause the game a bit here to make sure that we can kind of frame buffer those multiple riskies. There are two things you need to know about riskies, at least. Probably more I'll get into later, but at least two for now. One is that you can only get one risky per obstacle, and sometimes, frame rate dependent, you will not get multiple riskies too close to each other. By using that frame buffer, we can get a little bit more time to sneak in those riskies. Welcome to the Twilight Cry Sky.
Would you say that was a risky biscuit?
That was the riskiest of biscuits. Yes. Small new mechanic here. We have these. I don't know what to call them. They just say right or left when you hit them. Something to know about split courses in this level is that basically every time you have one of those little spinny doodads, you want to take the right fork. Almost always, because the right fork in this level, for example, twice has our square coins / biscuits / secret bananas. And yes, the code actually calls them secret bananas. We're going to meet the lover here, and they're going to do us solid. They're going to use the power of strength to give us a sword, which looks banger as heck. Closing out this level with a few quick time events.
Looks like an epic sword fight to me.
It can be a little bit of column A and a lot of column B. And we're going to bisect the lovers into the stereo lovers. It's okay. They're fine. There's certainly no trauma to be relived here. Speaking of trauma, fantastic story of this game. It's told mostly very interpretively. I love hearing what people pull out of that. Now we get into what might be one of the most common favorite levels of the game, parallel universes. Blaze, can you talk a bit about parallel universes? And I don't mean in the Mario speedrunning way.
God dang it.
Sorry, I'm legally obligated to say it.
So, I mean, it's kind of just looks like what it is. You've kind of got the map changing on the beat, and you can sort of see what's ahead of you, but then it's going to change before you actually get there. Feel free to clap along if you want in the audience. It's a good one for
some
audience
snaps and claps.
participation. Yep.
You get snap, snap, clap. It's going to be that way for most of the rest of the level.
And if you have no rhythm like me, it helps you feel like you do. So.
This is a rhythm game after all.
Yeah.
When you really get down to it.
I think the biggest thing I would say about this level from like a skill or speedrun perspective is it's actually not that bad. This is probably the level when you play this game casually versus when you've really practiced and played it a lot. This is very jarring when you see it the first time. Once you've done it 100 times, it's honestly, I'll just say, it's frankly a little bit boring.
And if you remove
You're kind of just swaying back and forth.
Exactly. Once you remove the clapping and snapping from the equation and kind of like unfocus your eyes, it really is a zigzag consistently.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip in a few slides here as we get these lines of hearts and this sneaky square coin right at the end. And that is Parallel Universes.
Very nicely done.
Thank you. That'll bring us into our next boss battle and my personal favorite song in the game. Not one that we'll be singing today, but a fantastic song with some really messed up lyrics. This is Mine.
By the way, thank you so much, everybody who dropped in some donations to get Fletch to sing today. I know we've been having some issues with that so far this morning. We are diligently working to get those fixed for you, and in the meantime, you just get to enjoy some really cool stuff on the stream. So
yeah, huge shout out to folks for those donations. I adore singing. It's part of why I love this game, and I'm really excited to sing it for you in the near future.
A game that's this musically just influenced, it almost begs the singing. I've been looking forward to that since I first saw that incentive. I was like, yep, we need that.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear it.
I think we should have done a parallel incentive to have me not sing. But since we didn't have that, I might sing along a little bit. We'll see.
Can we get
awesome.
another $500 for not Blaze?
Oh, come on.
I'm actually not bad, but okay, for people who haven't been to a FurryCon before, you lose your voice almost instantly.
Oh, for sure.
When you walk into the lobby and spend like an hour there, so.
Especially masking, in fursuit, all these things. Again, this game just throws stuff at you. Giant Buster Swords now. We're gonna sneak to the side there to get a square coin behind the Buster Sword. This is another place where you'll see us get some riskies. This is, for some reason, one of the more temperamental part of the games for those riskies actually registering. So despite there being probably 4 or 5 opportunities that could have been a risky, only like 2 or 3 of those turned into riskies for us. So no big deal. We're gonna just keep going with it. We don't always want to risk it for the biscuit. little world collapse here. Again, no big deal. And we're going to turn these giant Buster Swords into a sword plane, I think?
Sword plane.
Sword plane. Sword plane. But the good news is our sword, also a plane.
I think I saw that in an anime at one point.
Yeah, I think I've seen it in a couple animes, honestly.
So this is just basically City Escape, but it's an entire game, and also Synthwave, and also Crazy Taxi.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
100%. All right, another matching event here. Again, not going to frame buffer for the sake of eyes and arms. Heart recombines. Let's split in half again. And we are out of the Stereo Lovers. Thank you, folks. 2 major sections of the game left, followed by the big finale. This is another one of our heartbreaks. They're kind of like, wow, look at all the work you have to do to really like weave back and forth and get these hearts. Wouldn't it be convenient if you didn't have to do that?
Why, yes. Yes, it would.
Surprise! So the Hermit here is going to appear and give us the power of screen wrapping. So you'll see we go back and forth there. Every time that we use this teleport to screen wrap, it is additional points. So we'll go for it as often as possible, especially in this 2D segment with a little bit of an exploit. You'll see that as we go through the teleporter, we are mysteriously picking up all the hearts in between. For some reason, our hitbox expands dramatically when we do that. We'll go in the middle for the square coin there, but that makes that section a lot safer, and you get a bunch more points for it, too.
I mean, when you're warping space and time like that, it makes sense that your hitbox kind of gets really large for a moment.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which is to say, we've all been hermits at one time or another. All right.
It's really cool how much of that kind of subtle little tech has been found in this game over the years since it came out.
Yes.
It's a testament to the people who love this game and love challenging themselves to push the envelope as far as they can go. Hey, it's a car.
Oh, yeah, we have a car now. This is Night Drift. Don't get too used to the car. It's here for this level and this level only. But you'll see that as we hit these corners, we drift hard and some lovely numbers pop out of our wheels. The longer your drift, the longer your points stack up. Right now we're in this kind of pulled-in third-person version where we're not going to be able to do the drifting. But as soon as we get out of this camera view, we're going to be back to Drift Land. Tokyo Drift, but it's in the desert.
Arizona Drift.
Arizona Drift.
It's just the south side of Tokyo.
Yes. Very, very south.
Very, very, very south.
There are a couple of exploits that you won't really see here in the run that are, to varying levels, TAS recommended and TAS only. It is possible to turn some of your grinds, your drifts from one direction into drifts in the other direction. It's also possible to technically like wiggle back and forth repeatedly in this 4-frame window. We're not going to worry about that here. We're just going to drift as much as possible, hit the square coin here at the end, and meet Hermit 64.
I think we have some runs on that console later today.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I want to say it's one number for every heart broken. So a lot of broken hearts here for Hermit 64. I'm going to let this brief cutscene play out because using the power of the world and apparently an Apple Vision Pro, we're going to get turned into a Game Boy cartridge and also plugged into the Apple Vision Pro. This game came out in 2019, just to be clear. So really, Simogo, very prophetic. Great job, Simogo, as always. This gets us into Reverie. Reverie is one of the only 2 levels that does not have a fully original track. This is also Debussy, like Clair de Lune. And we're in this weird first-person 3D world. Again, a lot going on in this game.
VR chat looks different.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think I've been to this world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really, very motion sickness warning for this world. I mean, really. Maybe a little bit, depending on who you are, actually. The fun thing about Reverie is that it was twice thought to have been score ceilinged. One such instance we broke by that line of hearts that I just got a little while ago. You actually can technically get hearts from both of those lines because it's very hard to tell how large your hitbox is in this level. It's also possible to get riskies, but we did not as a community know that. You have to get yourself super close. And when I say close, I mean like my cursor's lined up with that Tetramo for a bit. I'm not going to actually go for it because, again, it's not very marathon safe for that kind of risky. But you have to be incredibly close on this level, which incidentally has its own reset animation, which I think is just another testament to the quality and detail, attention to detail, as they call it, in this game.
I see why I've been fascinated by this level.
Oh yeah, it's got all the references to legally distinct things made of blocks.
Block stack game and various other block-related games.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps ones where you dig, maybe, at some point?
You know, maybe. All right, that's it for Reverie, but we are not out of the game yet. The game within the game, the Inception game. Now, we actually get to play on the VR headset. We're not playing a VR game. We're apparently playing a 2D game on the headset, so don't worry too much about it. This is The World We Knew. This is where we get into an interesting piece of tech called a Dama death. So I'm going to take an intentional death right here. It might take a few goes. You'll see that as I pick up these hearts, I'm getting some points over my head. We are going to lose those points when we reset. But if we manage to die on about the same frame as a heart pickup, we will actually maintain the streak that we had. And we'll know that we hit it because there will be a number popping up over my head as I die surprisingly late. We'll try it a few times. It's a little bit late there. This was pioneered by Dama Plays Games, who is, in my opinion, the uncontested queen of Sayonara Wild Hearts score attack. So shout out to Dama. We'll have more shout outs for Dama later as well. Let's try this 2 more times. Ready? Huh. Nope, not quite there. And if we don't get it, not a huge deal. What it does is while it resets our score, our counter actually gets incremented. So when we get the trick, we will instead start this level and the first heart will be worth 2. Which doesn't sound like it's that much, but in a game, there we go, got it.
Hey.
Yes, there we are, excellent.
So the last heart is the important one.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, we'll see what that final number is, but yeah, starting at 2 is not the cool part. The cool part will be when Fletcher gets to the end here. And the last number, do you know what the number is off the top of your head?
Oh, it's going to get us into like the hundreds. I want to say like around 140-ish, depending on how well I do throughout this level.
Okay.
Yes, that's the thing to keep in mind with these stacking scores. Again, the little heart's giving you +1 each time, and the big heart's giving you 25 each time, and the biscuit's giving you +1,000 each time. It's really always worth as much as the last one you could get. So that often stacks up into the hundreds and sometimes thousands, depending on the length of the level. Blaze, can you tell us a bit about these guns that we suddenly have?
Yes, we suddenly have head guns.
Head guns!
Positioning is going to be very important. The shots will come out in a specific direction, alternating, typically, not always, but over the course of the sequences. And again, you're also getting points for that for each brick block that you destroy.
Much like Minecraft.
Yes.
Yes, Minecraft has points.
The guns are surprisingly unpredictable. In fact, there is a fantastic task of this game, Score Attack, by Ikuyo. Another shout out to Ikuyo. The guns are weird, and it's very hard to line them up optimally. I think as a community, we don't really know the exact optimal way to position yourself to get maximum gunnage.
Maximum gunnage.
Maximum gunnage.
Maximum gunnage.
Coming soon to Furry Weekend Atlanta. Maximum gunnage. Sorry, I'm getting into host mode. That's tomorrow. This is a bit of a slower part of the level, so Ian, this is a great time for another announcement.
I was just sitting here thinking, yeah, no, that run's not until tomorrow evening. Don't worry about it.
Maximum gunnage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was right after... Anyways.
I broke your brain. It's okay.
It's not hard at this point. We've all been at this, and y'all have been working at it so very hard. The Team Fastest Furs Community Showcase is another thing that we do on Fastest Furs, and it features talented members of the Fastest Furs community on our channel all throughout the year. If you have a speedrun or showcase you'd like to submit for consideration, go ahead and use the command !showcase in chat. It's a good way to, give it a shot, try it out, get yourself seen.
Absolutely. Already had someone from the con come up to me today over the course of our setup day yesterday and was like, "Hey, I run this Sega Genesis game that I think, only I play." And I was like, "That's awesome. We want that on our channel."
Love that.
Yeah, please.
Give it to us.
Yes.
Give it to us now.
Stick it directly into our veins.
All right, with that quick time event, that's the end of The World We Knew.
Nice. I wasn't sure if you got it. There was a really cool sequence while Ian was talking where Fletch had the ability to maybe get a heart or two while you couldn't actually see it on screen anymore, but you can actually keep your momentum moving into it. So hope you got that. It's really cool if you do.
Yes, no, that was nice. I did get one just as the screen sort of faded to black.
Awesome. And now we're in a boat.
We're in a boat. I never thought I'd be here. What year is it?
We're in a boat.
That reference is still relevant, right? That
Timeless.
was in Borderlands 1, and that was only like 2 years ago, I think.
Man.
All right, we're on the Ocean of Death. Not a great place for a vacation, but it is a great place for the final 1/5 of this run. That was the world we knew was the fourth boss battle. So we're going to be coming up on Little Death in the near future, and then after that, we'll close out with Wild Hearts Never Die. Again, the game just throws mechanics at you left and right, and sometimes center. We're in this boat. It controls differently than the other vehicles that we've had. It's certainly kind of, dare I say, floaty. A little hard to steer into the currents here. We do try to get as close to these whirlpools as humanly possible because of all these points that we can get if we stick the curve. Oh, love getting all of the whirlpool points.
Oh, yeah.
That's lovely. But there's a waterfall now, so bye-bye, boat. Sorry, it was nice knowing you. All right. This is another place where we can get riskies. We're not going to spend too much time on that because they are scary, but occasionally we'll get them by accident. We have a moment for announcements, if you'd like, Ian.
Well, I'd like to point out that we have a lot of fun things that always go out with these marathons, like when we have bid wars for upcoming games, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming up next. We have a bit of a bid war going on for who our runner is going to play as. Leonardo picked up $5. Donatello picked up $260.
Oh!
That is a lot of dollars. That's a lot of dollars.
That's a lot of
That's many
Donatello.
dollars for sure.
But
I'm surprised the new Pope isn't doing better in that bid war, honestly.
I mean, he's got a
He's
little
the
bit-
leader in everything. I mean, come on. All right.
He's the leader of the bunch, you know him well. Sorry,
Yeah.
wrong game. But if you want to perhaps, affect that run a little bit, because I've heard all of the Turtles play differently, get your donations in. We'll see if we can start fighting back, making a little headway there. And we might just see ourselves a bit of a race.
It's a really cool run. Ferric is running that, and I do know that all of the Turtles play very differently, and also all of the Turtles sort of take, the traditional attitudes of those characters from the cartoons and the movies. So if you have a favorite and you want to see them in the marathon, you will not be disappointed with like the little one-liners and like the style and different things like that that will be a part of that turtle winning the bid war. So what I'm trying to say is Donatello haters rise up. So
I was a huge Raphael fan when I was a kid.
Which one uses the bow staff?
that's Donatello.
That's
Okay.
Donatello.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big Donatello fan. I'm Team Donatello. I also like bow staff.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, one bow staff user out there. All right. All right.
But nunchucks and pizza.
Nunchucks are
Michelangelo.
also great.
All right.
Pizza's the important thing here.
All right, we are here in Love Dead City with Little Death, who's racing ahead of us. She also does the courtesy of electrifying the railings in case this game wasn't dangerous enough. We have a new mechanic, this gravity thing that will flip us to the other side of the level. We'll use that as much as possible because that also does stack up our points. This part looks like a cutscene. It's not skippable, but we get introduced to the hate skulls here.
And I just want to remind everybody again, we have seen all these mechanics. We have seen gravity. We have seen electrified walls. We're about to see some archery. This is all just done with the D-pad. There's no button in this game. You just move around or you move the cursor around. It is the creativity and the
It's brilliant.
the systems that they were able to come up with out of the really simple control scheme is just exceptional. It is chef's kiss.
You'll see here we have this cursor on screen now for our bow. I'm just moving this with the left stick in as many dimensions as I need, namely mostly 2. You'll also see that we're getting pop-ups for combos. You can get up to 4 types of combos: small, medium, large, and extra large. And they are worth a number of points per hit that you get, but they also give you stacking points based on the size of the combo. So an extra large combo, for example, is worth 2,500 points, which is significantly more than, say, a small combo at 50. So right here, got the extra large combo by delaying some of our shots. We're going to do a little bit of that here. And anytime we can go for a combo, we want to. We never want to shoot like a single enemy at a time. We also don't want to ever hit more than 14 enemies during a combo, because 14 is the threshold for extra large. Everything after that is we're just losing points on the table if we don't combo them, even into a small combo for that little 50 extra points. And just like that, we are into the second to last level of the game. Wow. This is inside. And that racing ahead of us is Little Death. This is a pretty long level, so buckle in. It's going to be quite the ride. Also, unusual content warning. Late in this level, there's going to be a significant emetophobia warning. So if you are made easily sickened by the idea of vomit, we'll let you know when to look away, and it will be a little while before you should look back. But that's not for another at least minute or two. So in the meantime, get comfortable, and don't worry about it.
And if that sounds horrible, don't worry. And you're not like phobic
It's quite
that way.
cartoonish.
It's comedic and silly. Cartoonish is a perfect word for it. But also, yeah, a little squicky if you're not like down for that. So
As long as it's not spiders doing it, I'm fine.
No, this game is blissfully spider-free.
Yes,
An
my kinda
arachnophobe's
game.
dream. All right, we're going to have some yet new mechanics here. We did get some more electrified hazards courtesy of the Little Death and the Sun card. Why the sun is electricity, I have no idea. Maybe it's solar panels. We're also going to have a lot of these round tracks, and this actually does introduce a new type of style point we can get called a spinny, which is for going around a full rotation.
spinny.
Spinny, spinny.
It suddenly makes sense why people start getting sick later in this level.
Oh, yeah. No, this game can definitely cause some motion sickness if you are ill-prepared for it. Or maybe even if you are prepared for it. Who's to say? Spinny is definitely the quietest of our style points. We won't see them too much. You don't need to do them in a full rotation. You can just keep going in that direction, and as long as you don't go the opposite direction, it will eventually turn into a spinny. There are very few opportunities, however, to do that, so that's why we see them way, way less than slides and riskies.
This is my personal favorite song in the game too. So
Nice. It's a very good choice. All right, we're going to get some more of our quick time events here. We need to duke it out with death. Little death. Little a duke out with little a death.
As a treat.
Emetophobia warning coming now. And we're going to drive on that for some reason.
because we can.
Again, this game, the hits start coming and they don't stop coming.
I'm pretty sure I saw this at 3:30 a.m. At one of these conventions.
No. Oh, no. Please take care of yourselves, y'all, at
Yeah.
conventions.
Hydrate, please.
All right, we are all done with the emetophobia warning.
Yes.
Thank you all for your patience. This level, still not quite over. It's really the gift that keeps on giving, though the next level keeps giving even more. Another big punch here on Death, and we're going to explode her into all the hearts that presumably she broke. We're going to hit 4 of them, and then quickly combo the rest of them for the maximum number of points on the XL combo.
Very nice. That's
Thank
really hard
you.
to do. Clap for that.
And it's not over yet. Here is whatever this is. Larger Death? Bigger Death? Biggest Death?
Death 2.
This is also the other very extreme photosensitivity warning too. So just be aware of that if you're photosensitive.
Yes, and we'll have one on the next level as well.
Okay.
So yeah, keep an eye out or don't for that.
The cool thing about this game is if you just want to listen to it, that also works.
Boss battle down.
All right.
All right. If you thought it was over, it's really only just beginning. We have so much tech to go over in this, the longest and techiest and most risky level of the run. This is the 4-part Wild Hearts Never Die, starting with Part 1, The Eye of Death. I also have this in my head and notes subdivided into many, many little parts. So look forward to some of those names as they come up. Could you, Blaze, tell us the fun fact about these specific hazards we're dealing with right now and riskies?
Ooh. I might need you to tell me on that one.
No
Sorry.
worries. No, you're totally fine. So you'll see that Death here is spitting these cards at us. This is, by the way, Skirt Goes Spinny Part 1 to me. Foreshadowing is a literary device. Also, Death throws these cards at us. I mentioned earlier that we can only get riskies actually only once per hazard. So those cards never reset. Some flashing light warning here because we are getting some frame buffered riskies off of these shots. If this looks dangerous, it is. But those cards can only give us up to 1 risky per because they never reset over the course of the level. Here we'll go for a few more frame buffered riskies off these shots as we also go for the big hearts. Because of our stacking score, we never want to lose a big heart or even a small heart in favor of a risky because a risky is only ever worth 50 points and these hearts are worth a lot. This section is don't get got by the 5 shot. We didn't get got by the 5 shot. Go team.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, one person. We have Skirt Goes Spinny Part 2. I love the single cheers. It's great. Woo! Skirt Spinny Part 2, and then what's going to be one of the most dangerous tricks in this level, in this run. This is the shot strafe. Focus time here. Nailed it!
Let's go.
The reason for that is simply because both sides of the screen have so many hearts, and this level is so long that by the end of it, hearts are worth 1,000 points and more. So you can, the safe strat is just to weave kind of back and forth across the level, but ideally we want to shot strafe there and get those hearts. We also made it through those little, that archery section, which only became my kryptonite apparently this week, so I'm really glad we made it through there.
This level is, if you're a number go up fan, this is your level.
Oh, huge number go up fan here.
I mean, and you're saying those 1,000-point hearts are the ones that started at what?
1. There are over 1,000
One.
hearts this level, and we are coming up on the title track here of this level, Wild Hearts Never Die. Thank you again for your donations to make this happen. I'm going to take a sip of water.
Good plan.
Oh, we're going to sing along here. I'm going to change my gremlin pose in this chair so I have slightly better air support. Very important for singing. All right, this is Wild Hearts Never Die. They said diamond knives couldn't kill it, and that our love would live on until it all fades to black. Names roll by like a movie, no way back. Come on, who are we fooling? This is not where it ends, this is not goodbye. 'Cause wild hearts never die, wild hearts never die. With chain in a shape like butterflies. 'Cause wild hearts never die, wild hearts never die. Bring 1,000 blades, we won't feel the sting. Our love shines bright, but then everything fades to black. Names roll by like a movie, no way back. Woo! Come on, who are we fooling? This is not where it ends, this is not goodbye. 'Cause wild hearts never die, wild hearts never die. With us change in a shape like butterflies. 'Cause wild hearts never die, wild hearts never die. Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Hey, you've been smooching a lot of these bosses.
I've been smooching. We're really coming to terms with our traumas. Heck yeah.
Can we switch that dragon?
You know, that's a great question. Let me think about that. This is the third of the 4 sections of the level. We're here on this awesome dragon that is apparently made of our traumas. We're running through these rings here. They will give us so many points while Queen's Latifah narrates some of the conclusion of the story here.
The appropriate pluralization, by the way.
Yes, Queen's Latifah, like
Yeah.
Surgeons General.
Yeah.
Absolutely epic way to wrap up. There's one more part of the level after this. I also, I really would like to kiss this dragon. I think you could smooch it. If I can get in a moment a little bit of help with, we need to make sure we say to smooch that dragon. All right, ready?
Smooch that dragon!
Excellent. I knew I could rely on furries for that. All right, this is Claire de Lune 2, the final part of this run and the 4th part of this level. We are getting hundreds and soon thousands of points off of all of these hearts we have going on here. You can see racking up, just about to hit 1,000 shortly. I think we should get there just before the run ends. Time will be when my broken heart is returned to me. We're gonna go right, we're gonna go right, we're gonna go right and left and right again. Coming up in just a moment. 3, 2, 1. Time. Thank you, folks. Thank you, everyone.
We got to smooch a dragon.
We got to smooch a dragon. Wow. At a FurCon, no less? Dang. All right, thank you everyone so much for watching. This has been Sayonara Wild Hearts. We'll do some of our outro things now as the closing cutscene and credits roll, because we have one more part of the incentive to get to sing the title track from the main menu, which is awesome. So thank you again so much for donating to hit that, and all of you here at FWA Live. Some of the shout-outs, shout out to, of course, my friends here on couch. Blaze for jumping in on commentary, having run this game before, fantastic. Ian on host, thank you so much. Thank you to all my friends who have showed up here to support at FWA and online. Incredible, could not do this without you. Shout out to my partner, Corbett at home with our puppy Ghost, doing very important work, keeping that dog occupied. Thank you so much, and thank you as always for your support. You're lovely. Thank you to the Sayonara Wild Hearts community. Dama, again, the undisputed queen of score attack in this game. She was tremendously helpful, as was Ikuyo, who made the tasks, and other folks in the community as well that I'm sure I'm not thinking of right now. Thank you so much to all those people. Thank you to Fastest Furs. Blaze, do you have any shout-outs?
I'm going to be here for a while, so I'm going to save mine, but I'll just say again, I love this game. Play this game. If it looks fun to you, you will not regret it. It might even change your life.
Absolutely. So it definitely has changed mine for the better, especially to be here at FWA running this for Fastest Furs. So again, thank you folks so much. And thank you to Simogo for making this fantastic game. Play this game, play their newest game, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, super good as well. Also has some songs in it. Maybe I'll sing them one time, we'll find out. All right, with that, I'm going to skip through the rest of the credits here, and we are going to go to the main menu and sing the title song. If you know the lyrics, feel free to sing along. This is Sayonara Wild Heart. After we pop.
Let's pop.
We're popping right now.
We're popping?
We're popping off.
Chat, are we popping?
All right, I think we're popping.
Chat, we're popping.
Chat, I think we're
Wild
popping.
rank, by the way, on that album
Thank you,
attack.
yes, yes.
Incredible. Very hard to do. Incredibly well done.
All right, getting into it in 3, 2, 1. Something's changed, and I didn't know you're slipping away. Everything is strange. Please don't let go. Sleep away the day. Dreaming of the end of love doesn't happen this way. Why do you say goodbye so long? Sayonara, already worlds apart. Goodbye so long. Sayonara, sayonara, wild heart. Oh, whoa. Don't say sayonara, wild heart. Thank you.
Hey, nice job.